It's true, bamboo bedding is dreamy to sleep on. That's why Quince aptly named their Bamboo Dream Quilt Set. Coming in 12 colors, you're absolutely going to love this quilt and 2 shams set. Starting at the softest of pinks and going all the way to a dark navy. It's going to be perfect for anyone's room. Your own, your guest rooms, your kids' rooms, maybe even back to the dorm bedding. Quince has everything you need to elevate your space, from bedding to soft organic towels, airy curtains, and premium kitchen tools designed for everyday use. And of course, as you know, Quince has gorgeous cashmere and other wardrobe essentials. And the best part, Quince's products are half the cost of similar brands. They partner with top artisans and cut out the cost of the middleman, passing the savings on to us. Thank you, Quince. And they only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, so you can feel good about your purchases from Quince. Elevate your space with home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. Our decorating is classic and timeless, as is our advice. So today we're sharing a classic DTT episode from the archives with you. Hey, we have something complimentary for you. I'm Kelly Wilkes. I'm here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Complementary colors. Decorating with complementary colors. Color is back on the horizon, so we wanted to dive in today to show you how you can use complementary colors in your decor. Complementary colors are the colors that lie opposite on the color wheel. The colors that are opposite each other are orange and blue, green and red, and yellow and purple. Then there's another one that gets a little bit more into different tones and things like kind of like the secondary complementary colors. But this is like the main one. So that's what we'll focus on today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when I was researching for this episode, I did not see a lot of rooms done this way, interestingly enough. So.
Well, it's kind of harsh in a sense, because obviously the colors are opposite on the color wheel, so they're very different. But when you dive deep into this whole idea of complementary colors, they are pleasing. The combinations, I should say, are pleasing together because your eye is kind of searching for the complementary color. Like when your eye is seeing blue, it is kind of searching for the orange. It has to do with the photoreceptor cells in your eye, like the cones in your eye. And we don't need to go too deep into a diagram of the eyeball and things like that.
Thank you for that. But I appreciate that.
We don't need to do that. But he was like, we're just going to take a slide view of the eyeball now. No, we're not going to do that. We just really want to share with you how to use these complementary colors to your advantage in your home. Just trust me, trust us, that science does support that this sort of these colors that are dynamic together are pleasing to the eye. Would it be palettes that jump out at me for my home? Not necessarily. So that's why at first glance, you might be like, oh gosh, no. Like when I think of blue and orange together, the only thing I can think of is Howard Johnson's. Does anyone remember Howard Johnson's? And I mean, maybe someone told them, you know, the Don Draper that was working with them said, oh, these are your colors because, you know, people are going to, their cones in their eyes are going to be like, this is so awesome. Like I need to go eat here at Howard Johnson's. Now, there was a lot of good things about Howard Johnson's. It was my favorite place when I was little. My grandma would take me to Howard Johnson's.
Oh, we ate there a lot. Yeah, Friday nights they had a fish fry special.
Friday night, dude. I like to say I was elsewhere on Friday night, but you know, like midweek with my grandma, I would go to Howard Johnson's. You get the grilled hot dog, but they buttered the bun. Like, I mean, honestly, I can still taste it. I mean, that was so good. And then you would get a clown sundae. Rock on. The day could not be any better than that. The orange.
I don't remember this Sunday, but I think it was kept from me.
You probably didn't get the Sunday.
No, I did not.
Another thing. But yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I bring all these things up. But even as a young lass,
enjoying my buttered bun hot dog
And your
followed up by the clown
sundae,
which now I feel badly about because you didn't get one.
Yeah, you should.
I knew that I didn't like the combination of blue and orange. My cones it was not pleasing to my cones, but I get it. I get what they're saying.
I think it's right. I mean, it's a very bold, they don't kind of ease from one color into the other. It's the opposite.
Right.
So it's a very stark
yes.
Difference.
Right.
And from an advertising standpoint, you can see why that would make a good logo because you're going to notice it.
You're going to notice it.
It's not something that's just blends into the background.
Right.
You see that they're different.
We're focusing on the Howard Johnson sign here, which is kind of funny, but I think that the orange and the blue were kind of in balance, and that's probably where the problem was. So the bottom line with these complementary colors, that they are dynamic together and they play each other's intensity. Right. So really what you want to do in your decor is consider the complementary colors, one being very much the primary color that you use. In primary, I mean the one that you use the most of, and then maybe just adding a pop of the other one, because picture a very blue room, lots of blues going on, maybe even those blue ginger jars that everybody really loves, the blue and the white, and then picture on maybe a blue sofa 2 orange pillows, and then maybe someplace else in the room a vase that's blue and white with some orange flowers in it, and then maybe an orange lacquered or leather box, a la Hermes or something like that. That's pretty fabulous, right? I mean, that's you can picture yourself seeing that in House Beautiful or Architectural Digest or something like that's a beautiful room.
Yeah, and if you're in Texas, I did not go to UT, but their color is burnt orange. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, which was kind of a reason I could not go there because I don't really like that color. And I thought the only
person that went down in history of choosing her higher education by the colors.
Well, I know my cousin chose a college because the one building was close to her dorm room. So,
okay, well,
apparently it runs in the family.
That's very practical.
Well, this was practical. I look terrible in orange.
Oh, okay,
I mean, I look washed out. Yeah. I'm sorry, I cannot wear it. So, but yeah, my school colors when I was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, orange and blue. So there you go. Mm-hmm. Right. So I did have to wear the color. I did not get out of it. I did not escape just were not going to
perpetuate that.
Right. But okay, so let's talk about these by color combination. And you started with the orange and the blue. Mm-hmm. And I have a few thoughts on this. And, orange, not my favorite color. I'm going to say that up front. So I'm with you. I think for this particular color combination, I would probably go with mostly blue and just touches of the orange in there. And I think the other real trick to doing this is what shades of blue and orange you go to. Every blue is not the same. Every blue is not going to look good on a wall or on a bookcase or on a sofa. The blues that I think would go best with an orange would be the cobalt blue, the aqua, or maybe the navy blue. I think all of those looked pretty nice with the orange. But, you're going to have to be careful about which blue you put with them.
Yeah, very true. The purple and the yellow. Now, I love that combination in my garden. A combination of yellow, purple, and white. First of all, there's so many plants that you can get on those colors.
Oh, right.
But
I love purple in the garden too.
Pretty together.
Yeah.
So, and it really didn't dawn on me that dealing with the complementary colors there by going with those two. But, it's different to having it in a container garden or in your garden beds as having it in your bedroom or your living room.
Right.
But again, it's the tones. Like, how about an aubergine with a saffron? It doesn't have to be the neon yellow with the Barney dinosaur purple.
Well, in fact, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's your best bet. These color combinations, I think they can work well, using complementary colors, if you're very careful about which particular color you're choosing. If you go with the Barney purple and, like you said, the bright yellow, I don't think that's going to be your best look. But if you go with, more of a muted purple. And then like, for example, I love chartreuse green with a lavender or a purple.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's kind of a rift off the yellow because I mean, chartreuse is kind of a yellowy green. So
right. It's yellowy green. So it is yellow, but it's a yellowy green. Right. And I actually, I think that's really pretty.
No, that is a beautiful combination. I have had that in prior homes. And I think in a guest bedroom, I had that. And it's really inviting. It's very pretty.
And purples, not every purple is the same. Some purples lean much more to the blue, whereas other purples lean much more toward the plum or the, in the red direction. So that makes a big difference too on which yellow it's going to work best with. So keep that in mind. And you can kind of play around with it. And, if you're wanting to go in this direction, I also suggest you look on Pinterest and see, because we can talk about it all day long, but until you look at it, you're not going to know which ones you like the best. So check out Pinterest. You can look for rooms with purple and yellow or whatever color combination you're looking for. And you can kind of see some shades that you think that you're drawn to.
Right. And when you're listening to it, and we're talking specifically about the complementary colors, I know in my mind's eye, I'm going super saturated in the entire room. The walls are painted and the upholstery is in one of these colors. And then, there's chairs in the other color and there's drapes in the other color. It's really not going to be like that in real life in your house. Mm-hmm. So the idea is that maybe you have a very neutral house, but now you'd like to introduce some color, which now a lot of people are doing again. Again, the pendulum is swinging back towards color again. So how do you do that? Well, maybe you do pick these complementary colors because it is true. They make each other better by being together, and they will be pleasing to your eye. So you can test it. You can look at on Pinterest. You can look at magazines, and you can see things. And even though there's blue and orange in a room, it somehow is calming. It's very interesting. So maybe you add in to a neutral space 2 complementary colors. Say we go with the blue and the orange. You can do that just in small pops, but each of the colors then will be presented in these small pops instead of being a whole blue background with then pops of orange. Don't you think you could just do it could be all your background, your main palette could be whites and creamy whites and things like that. And then you could toss these colors in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I certainly would suggest that because it's a big commitment to go with all these colors, saturating your entire room with them, unless you're in love with those colors and you're willing to live with them for a long time, or you have lots of money to change them out all the time. I do suggest that you add them in small doses and play around with them first. And that's a great way to try adding, these colors and see how they go together. And then if you're doing some pillows and throws are a beautiful way to add the color, see how you like it. And if you don't, you can always, if you just bought them, take them back or move them to a different room.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Well, let's talk about the last one if you're ready. Are you ready to move on to red and green?
Sure.
Sounds like Christmas, doesn't it?
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle.
Ay, on this one, because I don't like the traditional Christmas colors when you think of that bright, deep red and just that strong green color. It's jarring.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you might think this is a Christmas, but these are Christmas color combinations, but you can make this work in a non-Christmas environment, but
non-Christmas environment.
But I think what you need to do is the same thing.
Christmas in July.
Go with different shades of these colors. And you know what I was thinking about when I was working on this is I remembered I had some wallpaper in our bathroom in our old house that was red and green and white, which sounds awful.
Okay, a different person lived in your old house. Who was she?
Well, it was a toile.
Terrazzo floors, red and green wallpaper.
Okay, I did not pick out the terrazzo floors.
The evolution of
but I did
pick.
Now, the wallpaper, I still like it. It's a toile. It was actually a French wallpaper. My wallpaper person.
Oh, okay. Now it's
me.
starting to make more sense.
Yeah, because it was very heavy and hard to work with. She hated me because she said, I cannot work with this paper. But it was, the background was kind of, let's see, I would call it more of like a pistachio green background.
Yeah.
It was a very soft kind of, maybe even maybe kind of a sage and or olive green kind of background.
Yeah.
And then so that was the background color. And then the toile figurines were red on white. But the red was this raspberry. Mm-hmm. And although it still may not sound right, it was really very pretty in person, but it was a lot of color. But it was in my bathroom. I thought,
it sounds really lovely. I'm just joking, but it was funny with the red and green. No, that's I have in my notes, like try magenta and forest, like magenta and pistachio would be great. Something like that. Think of the iconic Lily Pulitzer, pink and green.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I like pink and green together a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's so fresh. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Would I want to live with that necessarily all the time? Probably not. But unless I had, a trellis solarium in Palm Beach. But again, it's like you're not going to saturate your entire room with 2 complementary colors and call it a day. Probably not. For most of us that are just going to add in these colors, it's just really good to know about how colors work together. So we thought it was important to cover this in one of our episodes. So you understand, because you might, if somebody suggested these colors to you, like it's kind of like, oh gosh, when you say it, sometimes if you said what was in something, you're like, ew, but then you taste it and it's delicious, like, oh, I don't want to, like, my kids are like, hummus is made from chickpeas. I'm like, yeah, but they love hummus, but they were like, ew, Anita's wallpaper is red and green.
I know, it sounds awful.
But when you see it, I'm sure it's beautiful. I can picture that toile. I think I've seen that toile. Very, very pretty. So you just need to know about how they work together, why they work together. And if you have time on your own and extra points, you want to do more research about your eye cones and the photoreceptors, you can send us even more info. But, we're going to leave it at that. It is true that it is pleasing to the eye to see these colors in combination. So why not go with that? It gives you a leg up on like, oh, why does this room feel good? Well, because your eye is desiring to see that other color and you've presented it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, how sometimes we say there's just something about a room. Well, this could be part of that something.
Right. And again, I just want to stress it really, to make it work, you have to be very careful about which particular shade of these colors you are putting together.
Right. Or like a cobalt, like you're saying, and a coral.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe each of the complementary colors doesn't have the same intensity.
I think there's some great rooms that do have these color combinations, but I had a hard time finding the blue and orange ones that I liked. There were a couple I found.
Yeah.
But it was like you couldn't find the orange in the room. It was like,
well, I like the one I described.
Yeah. No. Yes, of course.
In my mind's eye. I think that would look great. I mean, I think I would even like that room, and I'm not such a blue girl.
I think we may have kind of covered the complementary colors. Was there anything else you had to add?
No, I think we're good. I can't wait to learn something new today. What's our DTT defines?
Well, the DTT defines today some parts of your stairs. And today I thought we would specifically refer to the baluster and the newel, because it can be confusing what's what. So the balusters are the vertical vase-like posts or legs that attach to the railing and hold up the railing. And when I say railing, I mean the hand railing. And then the newel is that final post that supports the handrail at the bottom of the landing. So that the newel is going to be larger than the balusters.
And I love a really distinctive newel post. I know you did something special with a newel post, didn't you?
I did. I found a garden post from an iron fence, and it was an antique. I found it actually at a garden center, and I gave it to my builder, and I said, could you make this a newel post? And they actually put it, I guess I'm going to call it like a little boot on the bottom. They kind of made it taller, and it's a very unique newel post for my stairs, and I love it. And I see it every day going up and down the stairs, and that's kind of one of those things that I think it was worth doing because it's just something I thoroughly enjoy every day.
Absolutely. And I just love that you had that creative vision. You saw that in a garden center or nursery somewhere.
Of course, that's why you need to be really careful about choosing your contractors, because you want someone who's going to work with your vision, because there's so many contractors and home builders that just tell people, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right. Or they don't have fun with the vision. You've got to have somebody who gets a little spark in their eye when you say, hey, I found this and I want you to make it into this. Sound good?
And he was always like you, Kelly's like, okay, let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. I love it. And it makes your home so unique. Even if you had a home, which you don't, but if you did have a home in a community where everything was similar, or 3 different styles or something like that, doing things like that, bringing in unique pieces that are really part of the infrastructure of your home is such a way to define it, to make it your own, to make it different than everybody else's house.
Yeah, because I was talking to a client recently and she was saying, well, I don't want to do that because the other homes in my neighborhood don't have that. And I said, well, then yours is going to stand out and be distinctive if you do.
My crush today is the result of a little foray into the Big Blue Box in Burbank. I went to IKEA not too long ago.
Yeah. I just went there on Sunday myself.
Did you? Okay. So I was recently staging a condominium for sale, a lady who's moving on, and it really needed some floofing in addition to lots of other things, but she didn't have too much to work with. So I needed to go to IKEA, and I said, no problem. Let me head over there. And I got so many great things, and I was just very lucky. You just have one of those days and I wanted to work with some of the things that she did have, furnishings and her chairs and whatnot. And I found the perfect pillows and whatnot. So I might talk about those as other crushes, but this one particular piece is just so universal. It's a round, shiny gold lipped tray. You could serve some cocktails on it, maybe some pretty cocktails, but I would really use it for display. And I was able to put it on her coffee table and then put a candle and, a floral arrangement and a little stack of books. And it looked fantastic. It's very simple. It's $24.99 and it's the Glattis. So Glattis. And it's about 15 inches round.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Actually, when we were there, Evie got a tray. I said, why don't you get this for your ottoman? And it'll be more like a coffee table. And so it's a round, well, it's not round. It's an oval white tray, metal tray. And I think it was called the Romantique or something like that.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, so I think that's great to get. That's a great place to go get trays. They're very inexpensive, too. So my crush is a set of pink velvet pillow covers. Now, in the green, decorating with green episode, I mentioned that I had bought some hot pink velvet pillow covers to go with the green sofa. These are the ones that I got. So they do come in a variety of colors, but I will tell you this particular brand, they were well made. They have a zipper closure, and they're an Amazon Choice item. And here's the best part. Now, there's different sizes, but I got a set of 2 18 by 18 pillow covers. You need the insert. Less than $15.
Wow.
I know.
And there's a lot of junk out there, but so when we have a crush on these pillows that are so inexpensive, we've tried them.
That's right. Just make sure you check and see what the reviews are. And there's some amazing things there.
And then get the inserts from IKEA, and they're $8.99, and they're 20 by 20, so it should be perfect for your 18 by 18.
Oh, that's true.
And they're tried and true, really nice inserts.
Great. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Fabulous. Fun. Wow. Even better than I had hoped or expected. These are just a few of the words used to describe a DTT design consult. We've been doing consults for many years, and boy, are we good at it. And people are loving the results of the advice and suggestions that we make for them. It's so easy to schedule a consult with us. Just simply go to our website, decoratingtipsandtricks.com, and click consult. There you'll be led through the very simple process. And sooner than later, you, I, and Anita will be discussing your home in detail. So sign up for a consult today. Let us help you design and decorate the home that you want and deserve. Looking forward to talking to you soon.